And it took me getting to be an adult to go to therapy to recognize that this is history. Like, this is your genealogy speaking to you to remind you that you're not alone, that you are not erased.
Yeah.
It was like taking those parts of me that had been like shattered and put into different places in the world, that now they're just like, I'm calling them back home. I'm calling them to come home. I'm right here and we can just reconnect. So in 2020, I decided I'm taking my name back. And when I did that, I didn't realize how empowering that was for me, because it repaired part of my identity. And the warriors tell stories, and stories have to be passed down so people don't forget who they are. I think one thing is that many people don't realize the creative thing within them might be that thing that God has called them to do.
What if memories you can't explain are the ones that actually tell you who you are? They're actually the ones that shape you. So Alma Luz.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us, okay, so carrying these early memories, how have they and they're kind of fragmented is what you've told us. How have they influenced your sense of self, your sense of safety, or the identity, your identity as a child, and then even as an adult?
So the fragmented memories, for me, growing up as an adoptee, I really didn't have the space to have conversations about my pre-adoption journey, and I didn't have any context to where these memories that felt like presences
Yeah.
or presence with around me.
Yeah.
I just could feel it, but I just didn't have words for it. And I would see faces, but I just didn't know who they belonged to. And they followed me throughout my life, and it was almost like a silent presence, but not really being able to have context to it. In my childhood, I think it really helped me because I didn't have anybody to really connect with in the adoptive family, because it was just a whole different dynamic. I was a different cultural identity and ethnicity than the family that raised me.
Mm.
So trying to connect with something that was foreign to me was really hard. But having those memories of somebody and or some people that I felt and I could see their faces, I knew that they were related to me and I knew that they were present with me. And that really helped me throughout my journey to know that I wasn't alone. Um, for a time, it kind of felt like, am I seeing things? Like,
Oh, wow.
what is this? Why is this here? And it took me getting to be an adult to go to therapy to recognize that this is history. Like, this is your genealogy speaking to you to remind you that you're not alone, that you are not erased,
Yeah.
that your voice is valuable and your presence is necessary. So that it's helped me to come to a place of recognizing that my story, which I thought was erased a long time ago, has always been present with me.
Wow. When you thought that your story was erased, but it really wasn't. Wow. Melissa, I know you had a question.
Yeah. So, can you share with us just a little bit of your journey, who you are, and what you're doing today? Because when you say your journey,
Yeah.
you've had this amazing journey. Do you mind sharing just a little bit with us about that journey and what you're doing? Because you mentioned a lot of things
Like there's a
that you're
project you're
doing.
doing
Yeah,
actually.
there's a lot that you're
It's my
doing.
life. Project is my life.
Yes. So share a little bit if you don't mind.
So, I was born in Honduras, and I was taken to a clinic before I was adopted. So I was there for quite some time. So I wasn't with my family. I was with people who were taking care of me there. And then I was adopted and brought to the United States and raised by a family that was not aligned, or it did not reflect my ethnicity. So I grew up in that environment, moved to New Mexico, grew up there, which was really hard because I'm looking like a lot of the people, but I'm not speaking the language. I don't know the cultural cues. It's just really difficult. So I'm growing up in that, just feeling like I'm looking at it through a window. Like I can see all this stuff going on, but I'm not connecting to any of it. So I felt very disconnecting, and I felt growing up like I was very disassociated from myself. It just felt like I didn't know what it was to be me. And so I had as an adult, I went to therapy, and that's when I first started to have these memories actually have space to have conversations about them. It's not that they weren't there. They've always been present, but I just never felt safe enough. And I did not have the opportunity to have those conversations with family, because even if I tried, it was just, there was no connection to it. So being able to go back and just revisit those memories, those pieces of fragmented memories, and just reconnect with them, it really reconnected within myself. It was like taking those parts of me that had been like shattered and put into different places in the world, that now they're just like, I'm calling them back home. I'm calling them to come home. I'm right here, and we can just reconnect. And the stories that they tell me are just like, they're so profound, because I have memories of my abuela, my grandmother, and I didn't know her. Like, I don't know her. I don't know anything about my birth family other than what I just reconnected with my birth mother.
Yeah.
But even then, it's really hard to reconnect all of that information. It takes time. But the memories that I have, it's like my abuela's here, my papi, my father, he's here. Like, I can feel it all. It's all present with me. And it took therapy for me to realize that I can embrace that. I don't have to compartmentalize it anymore. I can celebrate
Yes.
all of that, because it's
Celebrate.
me. That's
Yeah.
part of me.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Celebrate the mountains and even the valleys. You said safe enough. So that means that there was fear. There's a struggle with trusting yourself. Because we are talking about identity also, right? So there's a struggle with trusting yourself when you have identity crisis, or an identity, you struggle with identity, period, right? How has that evolved in this journey? Because you said now you feel safe enough. So the trusting yourself, how has that evolved through this journey for you?
So the big thing for me was, first off, therapy. Therapy helped a lot. The second thing was, I asked the Lord to help my journey of healing look the way that helps me
Right.
reconnect with myself, because I've heard things like, oh, well, this is how healing's supposed to look. And I couldn't fit into that box. And I asked the Lord, help me to see and to experience the way that I can receive it. And it's really been a journey. It's been a journey of reconnecting with myself. It's been a journey of just allowing the history to speak to me.
Right. Right.
There was okay, so there's this episode that's called The Coffee Plantation, and it goes into the history of my abuelo, and I don't know him either, but
Oh, wait. There's an episode. Did you tell us what the project was called?
No.
oh no, I
No.
didn't.
I was gonna go there. I was
Wait,
gonna go
wait,
there,
wait.
but go ahead. Go ahead.
So there's a project called
Coming home.
Coming Home, and it's actually a podcast. Actually, it's gonna start later in June.
Trust me, I was gonna circle back.
Like, what's going on?
Right. And so the
Told you it's coffee.
okay, wait, Coming Home podcast project. That's the project that you're doing.
Yes, coming home.
And then there's a on the third episode. It's called You said third, I think.
Coffee plantation, yeah.
Okay. So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so the coffee plantation, it really talks about my abuelo, and it's so funny because I remember maybe in Washington State, I had taken a class. It was like a writing class, and the assignment was to write a story. And so in the story that I wrote, I talked about this coffee plantation,
Mm.
and it talked about like what it looked like, and the father and the son, and how they worked together. And I didn't like, I felt it in my very soul, like this was part of me, but I didn't know if it was. So it wasn't until I started actually doing the podcast, and I was talking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, that was my abuelo. That was part of my history, because I had talked to my mommy about it, and she said, yeah, your grandfather, your abuelo, he had a coffee plantation. And I didn't know that. Like, I had no idea.
Wow.
So the history that we carry is very real. Like, it can speak to us if we allow it to, and it's within our DNA. And I think that's the big thing for me, is that as an adoptee, many of us feel like our history is gone. Like, everything about us has been erased, and it feels like an empty space. But honestly, everything that we need is within us. Our history, our conversations, the echo of our grandparents, and like just the DNA, how it carries and holds so much.
I believe that.
If we just could reconnect with that, I think is so valuable to bring healing to our identities.
I believe that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We
Mm.
name it, and it is spiritual,
Mhm.
but it also is biological. It's
Mhm.
in our DNA. It is who you are. You can't help it. I love you bringing that up. So, speaking of your journey, and how trusting yourself has evolved, and you're mentioning your abuela, and you're mentioning your mom. I met you as Alma, but now you're Alma Luz. How did how do those two things connect? Like, you're literally, that is your name now, Alma Luz.
Yeah.
Actually, well, I'm gonna be quiet. How did
Legally.
how is that? How is it? It was I met you as Alma, and
Yeah.
now it's like, yeah.
I've always been Alma Luz.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I was adopted, my name was changed.
Mm.
So I carried my birth name, and I felt it. And I just felt like having a different name erased who I was, because somebody had named me from the beginning, and that name had been taken from me. That identity had been replaced with something else that somebody expected for me. Like, they
Sure.
wanted me in a box that I just couldn't fit. So in 2020, I decided I'm taking my name back. And when I did that, I didn't realize how empowering that was for me, because it repaired part of my identity.
Jesus.
Being able to say Alma Luz Sanchez Glasgow. You know, the part of me is always going to be connected to the adoptive family. That's just not, I can't erase it, and I wouldn't want to.
Right.
Sometimes we want to erase things, but it's valuable to hold on to that too.
It's good.
But being able to say, like, this is my name, this is who I am, all of it, like all parts of it, it's fully me. So
And to hear people call you that, not
It
just
is.
you saying it, but
Yeah.
like when you first told me, I was like, okay. And I remember being at home, like just saying it to myself over and over. I'm a loose Sanchez. Okay. And then to say it to you, I bet even that is just kind of like, oh, yes.
it's like a balm.
Yeah.
Just
A healing
A
balm.
healing.
It is.
Love it.
Yeah.
I was telling you that she is an artist, and I know you wanted to explore that a little bit.
I want to also explore. I have this question. You mentioned Honduras.
Mhm.
Have you gone back to Honduras?
I have not.
You have not. Okay. Is there any plans to go to Honduras or?
Eventually, I believe I will. I
Okay.
feel like I will return. I have family there. So yeah.
Okay.
When you're
Big
ready, I'll
family.
go.
Yes. Yes. I was going to say
It
part
was
two.
making
Yes.
it.
Part two.
Yes.
As we
Yes.
explore
Honestly.
Yes.
we all go together.
Yes.
Because
Like,
I'm hearing as you're talking about the plantation and all of the things from your grandfather and all of that, it just brings to mind what your project means of coming home
Mm.
and what that would mean to
Yeah.
your journey. So I can't wait to the part 2 on that
Yeah.
to because even as a child, to be able to recall things that you were unfamiliar with, but resonated in your soul
Mhm.
as a part of who you are, speaks volumes. That you cannot, no matter what, the past can never be erased.
Yes.
It is who we are.
Yeah.
So, talk to us about what the project has brought you into because there are many facets to Alma Luz. So,
Mhm.
what are the other things you have done during this amazing journey? What are some of the other things that you have kind of found out about yourself in this whole discovery?
So I started this journey with writing a book. It's a children's book. It's called Maya, A Life Before Adoption. And it's really just reflections of my childhood in Honduras before I was adopted. And it's so funny because when I put the book together, I didn't think I had that many memories.
Mhm.
And it was only as I was doing the illustrations, because I'm an artist, that I really started to recognize that these are memories. Like, this is inside of me. I carry this. And I started to celebrate that and
Yeah.
say, you know what? I can make my life however I want it to look because I have that cultural root within me that I just didn't realize was there. And now it's like everything's blossoming out and it's beautiful. I painted the inside of my house the same colors of Honduras. And
Oh,
so,
It's pretty.
yeah,
wow.
it's
Okay, road
bright.
trip
Yeah.
to Alma Lucy's house.
Yeah, you'll be like,
Beautiful.
And it's funny because I had a friend and her sister-in-law came over, and her sister-in-law is married to an Honduran man. And she told me as soon as she walked in, she's like, this is Honduras. Like,
Oh,
this is, and I didn't know, like, I didn't have any context to it. But
It's
when she
coming
said
out.
it, yeah, it
yeah.
comes out of us. What
Mhm.
is in us, it comes
Yes.
out of us. And so when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I am connected to my history. And even when I thought I had lost it, it's always been in me. So
Mm.
yeah, it's been such a healing journey.
Wow, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
where can we find your book?
My book is on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Maya, A Life Before Adoption, and the author is Alma Luz Sanchez Glasgow. That's me.
Mm.
So
That's me.
yeah,
Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow,
It
wow, wow.
that what a radical way to heal.
Yes, yes.
And it's almost the opposite. Okay, so um, you know how you could smell something or you can taste something and it's nostalgia. It brings back something that you remember. But your journey and journeys of others who can relate, sometimes a taste or a smell is just a memory or something that you don't remember. It's like a fragment of like, what is this? And
mhm,
you kind of explained it there when it comes out. It's like, you're just putting it on your walls. You're painting it on your walls. You have little knickknacks that you've made. You have actual portraits that you've done. And it's coming out, but it's not nostalgia like we remember, right? The thing happening, the event happening. It's
yeah.
the opposite, I guess. So you often describe memories through smell, food, art, and your environment. Why do you think that these memories hold such power in reconnecting your identity? And I know you kind of talked about it, but go a little bit more if you don't mind. Like, how does that reconnect your identity, your belonging, the parts of you or whoever is listening that existed before you had language or you could articulate the experiences?
So I think about this a lot. And when I put a piece together, if it's art, if I'm, so I recently painted a portrait of a coffee bean. It was like a little vine. And when I don't normally title my art, but this one I said, this is going to be my abuelo. And I feel like with my art, it talks, like it tells the story. It speaks and it tells me, don't forget who you are. Don't forget that you have history. Don't forget that your ancestry is right here with you, inside of you, speaking to you, reminding you that no matter where you're at, you are who you are.
Yes.
Like you carry that. You carry, and there's this, and I'll say this, there's this warrior every once in a while I'll see when I go into meditation. I'll see this, he's like a chief. He's got all these quetzal feathers on his head and he's got this armor on, and he's my ancestry. And he will let me know that you are a warrior, and warriors tell stories, and stories have to be passed down so people don't forget who they are. And I
Yes.
feel like that is my responsibility, not only as being an artist and a storyteller and a publisher, but just being somebody who carries that flame to pass on to the next generation so they don't forget, and they can illuminate the pathway for the future generations themselves.
I
Wow.
love that.
Wow.
Now, as you're speaking, one of the things, the question that came to mind is, this is not only a message for the person who was adopted, but a message for the adopting parents
We were just talking.
that although you are bringing this beautiful baby infant child into your home, remember that there is a cultural connection that can never be erased, and it needs to be embraced. So they never forget who they are. And a part of that journey is to make sure that they do stay connected
Yeah.
to their root and their heritage, because that will make them a more well-rounded and be in that healing process, I feel. What are your thoughts about that? Having your story, what are your thoughts?
I think it's imperative. It's imperative for adoptive parents to recognize that you're not just taking a child in or a baby in, you're taking in a whole family line. Like you're bringing in a whole tribe.
Yes.
And I think that many times adoptive parents don't realize that and don't have the tools equipable to help those children recognize that within themselves. And I want to say this, that suicide rates for adoptees is 5 times higher than for
Wow.
the regular population.
I didn't
Wow.
know
We are found at higher rates having addiction issues.
Wow.
You know, there's just a lot. I feel like adoption causes such a trauma that this is an epidemic that's not discussed, because the narrative is that it's a gift. Like
Right, right.
the adoption itself is a gift. The
Yes.
child should not be treated as a gift. We're human beings. But the narrative has been, you should be grateful. This is a gift that somebody will want to take you, but not recognizing that you're bringing in, like I said, the tribe. Like the history of a child comes with them.
Yes.
Their bloodline comes with them. There's so many things that come with them that the people who take them in don't recognize. And I think that's very detrimental. So it's really important to know before you decide, like, what is the motivation behind me wanting to adopt? Is it because I want a child? Is it because I want a baby because I can't have children? Or whatever the reason is, but recognize that you're taking in a whole nother life that has no connection, none whatsoever,
Right.
genetically with you.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's powerful. And I think that there needs to be a a counseling built into the adoption process to ensure that parents who want to do this understand all the aspects of it so that they can not just a welcoming environment and a loving environment, but also a supportive environment of the heritage.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wonder if there are, um, is the if there are those type of programs, or if counseling is set up, because it seems like it should be ongoing too, not just in the beginning,
Mhm.
but just
Yeah.
as we move forward,
Yeah.
for the next, I don't know, 3 years or 5 years or
Lifetime.
lifetime,
Mhm.
or just doing these years of the child, and then we're gonna come back when the child becomes an adolescent, and then we're gonna come back when the child is, so yeah, wow. That was powerful. That was
Mhm.
powerful. I was, when I was thinking about just your story, and some of the things that we talked about before doing this recording, um, you know, this is what I was thinking, or when exploring identity through the lost pieces, right? Sometimes there are no answers, and that's one of the things that you were talking, you had sent us, right? Um, but there's still revelation. So coming home, your project intentionally creates space for for reflection rather than definitive answers. Why do you hope listeners, or what do you hope listeners, especially those adoptees or those that are carrying childhood grief or those struggling with identity, what do you hope that they will gain from sitting in this reflective podcast that you're going to have, this reflective space? What do you hope that they're going to gain from that?
I'm hoping that they'll gain the confidence to start questioning and being curious about their own memories. Because I think that, like I said, we carry so much within us, but we just don't know how to step forward in that. And sometimes it's just seeing somebody else do it to
Mhm.
be able to say, oh, okay.
Mm.
Oh, so those memories, I can talk to them. Like I
Mhm.
can hear them speak back to me, and it's okay. I don't have to have approval from anybody for that. I can just do that.
Mm,
And I think for me, because my memories were so fractured, I felt like, I mean, Andrea knows, like I've told her, there's times in my life I don't even remember. Like I just black out. I have no memory. But the memories that I have, it's just like they still call to me. They still say, "We need to have a conversation."
Mhm.
Like it's okay. It's
Mhm.
okay to recognize that you didn't remember this, but I'm here now and I want to show you something.
mm,
That's what the memories say to me. They're just like, "Hey,
Mhm.
look, you remember this?" And it's, I think, reconnecting with that child within
Mm.
is so healing. It's
Yeah.
so healing because
Yeah.
it's like, as an adult, we get so caught up in like doing adult things
mhm,
and we forget what it's like to have the joy of a child.
Mm.
And to have the joy of the child is just being so free to even mess up and
mhm,
be
Yes.
okay with it.
mhm,
Yes.
Like, oh,
Yes.
so that didn't work. Okay, well, next, let's move on, figure out what does. And reconnecting with that child within is being able to do that and have the confidence within yourself to do that and not feel like, oh, well, I failed, so now I can't do anything anymore because every
Mhm.
time I do something, I'm a failure. Like, we live too short of lives to be caught up in that anymore,
Yeah.
I
mhm,
think.
Mm.
mhm.
Yeah.
What w- when a person, and I can even speak about even my own self, just I'm thinking about my own self, just someone who um, didn't understand I my identity. Okay, and in the midst of not understanding my identity, there were decisions that I made that maybe weren't the best decisions, and now I'm like dealing with the aftermath. I think even what you just said, just being okay with that and just dealing with it.
Mhm.
Just being okay with there may not be you may not have the answers then, and now you may be dealing with the aftermath, but don't let that stop you or don't let it, stagnate you, but just keep moving forward, right? I think one of the things that we talked about this last Wednesday is, sometimes movement is just standing still and dealing with it.
Mhm.
That's movement also. It's, but just
Mhm.
make sure you're not, I think you used the word disassociating.
Mhm.
Like, I'm going to go over here.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm here, but I'm not really here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here. Like, what did you say? Oh, I didn't
No,
know
what?
what you just said. But actually that's movement to focus on it and deal with it. And you know, having a relationship with God also just helps you in that standstill. And what do I do with it now? Because if I keep moving, that means that because actually, I'm gonna run on instead of dealing with a thing right now.
Mhm.
It in itself is not dealing with
Yeah.
it's not
Mhm.
dealing with it.
Mhm.
Gonna keep, man, I gotta circle back because I should have stayed there in the first place. Were you gonna say something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about your project, uh, coming home, and you have this podcast that I feel is gonna reach so many people, are going to be moved and inspired. Um, what are 2 things if we have right now someone who is listening, who is who was adopted, what is 2 things you can share with them
Mhm.
and to help them in their journey? What are 2
Mhm.
things?
The first thing is that your history calls you.
Mm,
It calls you and it invites you into reconnecting with yourself, being able to recognize that you've never been alone.
mm,
Like you've never been alone. I think that for me is huge as an adoptee. Walking through life, it felt like I was just floating without any anchor.
mm,
But the anchor has always been there. I just didn't recognize it. And I
mm,
think that a lot of adoptees experience that they don't recognize that their anchor is inside of them. And the second is just to be free. Like you can choose to take that journey.
mm,
It's okay.
yeah.
Like you don't have to have anybody's approval.
Mhm,
Mhm.
And I
mhm,
think that's huge. Like if I had waited on somebody telling me, okay, now you can start to ask questions, then I might not be here right now.
Mhm.
Like I wouldn't have this
mhm,
whole conversation with you.
right.
Because I'm just waiting for somebody to approve me when I've already been approved.
Mm,
So being able to listen to the stories and start to be curious about their own memories, I think is going to be so valuable for a lot of people, whether you're adopted or not, being able to recognize that, oh, I do have history there. I do have memories, or I
mhm,
do have, oh, that brought me joy. Like, I
Mhm.
think a lot of people don't do things creatively because they feel like, oh, it's past that. I'm past that age, or I'm too old. I'm too
I'm too old
grown.
for this. I'm too
Yeah.
grown for this.
Yeah, like,
mhm.
so you're too grown to finger paint? Like, yes, I am. No, you're
Mhm.
not.
No, you're not.
No,
I'm
you're
too
not.
dignified.
Yes. Yeah, you might be too dignified, but you're not too old.
Right.
So, I mean, just being able to be creative
Right.
and I think one thing is that many people don't realize the creative thing within them might be that thing that God has called them to do.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they don't
Ooh, I
even know
love
because they're
that.
holding it in.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Let
yeah,
go.
let it
yeah.
go. Yeah, let go.
Let go. Let go.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
just be you. You're
Mhm,
talking, and I know we're talking about adoption, and that is the journey. But man, as you were talking, I'm just thinking about just being accepted or adopted into any organization,
mhm,
being adopted into a friendship, being adopted into any kind of relationship.
mhm,
You bring your whole self, your
mm,
whole history, things you know about, things you don't. People will ask you questions in a relationship like, why did you do that? Well, I don't know. And like, I literally don't know.
mhm,
Or maybe you do know and you feel like it's something that you don't want to talk about because you don't feel safe enough to talk about it, you know?
mhm,
But as you, even with your answer to her question about what would you say to two things that you would say to adoptees, I feel like just period, moving forward, let go and just be yourself. You do not need approval to deal with whatever your history is, because that's who you are. That's what you have on today, the 29th of whatever month. Right? Wow. It seems like you had another question.
No, as you're just talking though, it's just as you said, we're talking about and it's not about being adopted or what, but when you think about your history or your past, it's to me it's remembering to we are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoner
That's
to
right.
our past.
Mhm.
Meaning all of the things that they don't have to defeat us.
Yeah.
They don't have to isolate us.
Mhm.
We can move through them and work through them. And I love what you're doing to work through you've done a book, you're doing a
Mhm.
podcast, you're using all your artistic abilities to bring all of that in to your present. And I love it, love it, love it. How can our listeners find you? Where are you? Where's your podcast? How can we find you?
I'm everywhere. So currently, I'm doing a soft launch on Clubhouse for Coming Home. The recordings have already been completed. Right now, I'm just on Clubhouse releasing those every week.
Okay.
And you can find it. The room is actually called Coming Home. I have Coming Home on YouTube, but it's under M-Publishing Services. And that will be released. All of the series will be released June 23rd. I have a website. It's ready to go, but it's not published yet. I will be releasing that on June 23rd also. And I have art that actually is connected to all of this. So once I go live with my website, I'll have the art available for that too, for
Wow.
purchase. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And I do want to say, as you were talking, what I saw was, there's artists who take junk and they like do this thing to make it into something so beautiful.
Mhm.
And we can look at that junk and say, how can anybody use that? But then you take the eyes of an artist and they just take that thing and they make it into something so elegant or so amazing.
Yes.
And you just don't know. Like we could look at our lives and be like, this is just junk. What can anybody
That
do with
has
it?
no value.
No value.
Mhm.
But if you take the creativity eye to it and then you just build, something beautiful is going to come out of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
The illumination of the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wow. So Auggie,
Yes,
yeah, there's this other name
Yes.
that just recently actually came up. Auggie, tell us about that. What is what is the definition of Auggie? Yeah.
That's so funny. I kind of feel like it also reconnects to my childhood. Well, it is a childhood name, but it's so funny because I was at a dinner and one of your friends had asked me if I had a nickname because she had a hard time with my full name. And I thought, I don't have a nickname. But then after I left, I thought, wait, I do have a nickname. I just hadn't used it in such a long time because people had been calling me anything else other than my name. And so it was just so amazing because I thought, oh, it's Auggie. Yeah. Because I remember in elementary school, some of the boys would call me Auggie, and that it just stuck. So I was just like, yeah, I'm going to go back to that because that is part of who I am. Like Auggie, that's just my little nickname. So yeah, it's like I can embrace that too.
There it is.
Why not?
Wow.
No limitations.
Names are important.
They are.
And I think, some people are more tolerant with what people call them. So I'm Andrea. I was named after my father, Andre. But I am called Andrea, Andrea, Andrea,
Andrea.
Andrea,
So I call her
and
Andrea.
Andrea. Now I'll answer to them all. I will. I actually like it. It depends on who's saying it, like, Andrea, yes, it's me. you know. Um, and then it's funny because then in my mother-in-law, she called me Andre. Andre, I'll answer that too. Um, s- but some people name Andrea, they want you to pronounce it the right way. Some people's
Yeah.
names, I want you to pronounce it the right way. And I think that there's a history to that. There's a reason why they're saying that, right?
Mm.
So what, and I know we've kind of talked about like your name is powerful, and what people call you is powerful. And just going back to Alma Luz, um, what's your thoughts on that? Any one of
Mm.
you, what's your thoughts on like how important it is for people to call you who you are, and how does that connect to your identity, and how does it shape
Mm.
who you are, right?
I think personally, we got to take into consideration that culturally too, people don't say your name the same way.
Right.
Hmm.
It's just what it is. And
Mhm.
if we're so stuck on somebody saying it this way, then you're limiting yourself from being able to receive another culture.
Mm.
And that's detrimental.
Yeah.
I feel like if you call me Alma Luz, that's cool. If you call me Alma Luz, that's fine. If you call me Augie, that's fine. I'll answer. I don't really like being called Alma. I feel like that's part of my past,
Mhm.
but I give grace also to people who call me that because I'm like, well, they don't know me, so it's fine.
Or I
But
used to know you like that.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
The woman formerly known as Alma, who's now Alma Luz. Yeah.
I
So
love
I
it.
just feel like we should be able to embrace at all. Like, if I have a challenge saying your name because culturally I want to say Andrea, why is that? Why should that be a problem?
Mm.
Like, I feel like we should be able to be
Mm.
culturally inclusive,
Mhm.
not divisive.
I and I
Mm.
think that that's good, what you just said, because it goes back to when you are adopted into a relationship, your
Mhm.
whole history comes with you, right?
Mhm.
And so the relationship you're entering should accept it all,
Mm.
right? Should be and show grace if
Mhm.
need be or whatever, or understanding. Um, yeah. What's your thoughts?
Well, I love that we have all these different perspectives.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful? We
Mhm.
all have a different mindset and view on things. And that I think that's the beauty of coming together as a people,
Mhm.
that we all bring our unique perspectives into a space and we accept it all.
Mhm.
I never thought about it from that perspective of the cultural aspect of getting a name correct or saying it correctly. So I love it. I love it. I think we all have to embrace one another and embrace the positive, see everything with positive intent. That changes how I receive all messages.
Mhm.
If I believe that everyone has a positive intent. So if you don't say Melissa, you say Melissa. Okay, you didn't mean that in a cruel way. It's just how you said it.
Mhm.
So that's my perspective.
Yeah.
Positive intent, embracing and receiving it in love. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think your journey, your story, your project, again, I know we've said it a couple of times. It is speaking to the adoptee, but the adoptee also represents so many people.
Mhm.
I'm trying not to cry. Not just the physical adoptee,
Mhm.
but also, again, those that are struggling with identity,
Mm.
those who have grief, those who, and just beyond just even myself, there are things that maybe my grandparents, there are fragments. There are things that they tell me and certain things that they don't want to tell me because maybe they didn't feel free enough or safe enough to say it, right? So I have and that's my history, right? So there are things that my grandparents um felt safe enough to say, or were in things that maybe they didn't say because they were embarrassed about who they were, how they came to being. Um, but me, I'm like, I want to know it all, and I'm excited about it. And tell me more about this, and tell me more about the Native American side of me. Tell me more about the Choctaw. Tell me more about the Cherokee, the Blackfoot. Tell me more. But those are fragments because of the way we came into being, right? And it's the same thing. Like, why am I spiritual in this way? Why are there things that come from this way, come to me this way? Why does God deal with me this way?
Can I say something to that?
Yes.
So as you say that, I think about when we don't embrace those parts of us, it's like we build this wall. And so now I can't have
Every time.
now I can't have a conversation with my spiritual side because I'm so afraid that that's spooky. Like I've been raised to believe that that's witchcraft, but maybe it's the Lord really talking to you in that language that connects with you spiritually. I know for me personally, when I gave my life to Christ, I was a preteen. I went to this summer camp. And before I went, I had this dream and I saw this thunderbird. And I grew up in New Mexico and I am Mesoamerican. So I have very indigenous roots. And my everything that I felt spiritually was very like Native American. It wasn't anything other than that. Sorry. And so when the Lord was showing me the Thunderbird, it connected to me. I understood that. But I didn't understand all this other stuff that was like traditionally Christian culture. Um, but I understood the Native American. So I went to this summer camp, gave my life to Christ, ended up just struggling, trying to understand everything that was going on. And it wasn't until I came here, honestly, and reconnected to the earth that I started to recognize that talks to me through nature. He talks to me through symbolizations, Native American, and it's okay. Like that's part of who I am. And that's the way he speaks with me. And so I have that freedom to be able to receive it. But if I were so afraid of, or if nobody told me, which nobody did tell me, but if I was stuck in that, oh, well, it has to look like this, or I can't go beyond this barrier, then my life would be just kind of limited and I wouldn't have the fullness of where I'm at right now. Like I feel so free from where I have been.
Yeah.
I feel like you can this is people have called me weird all my life, which is fine because it's like whatever, but I feel like I embrace that now.
Yeah.
I'll be as weird as you want me to be. I don't care. Like I love it because I see people who really live in themselves and who are so free to be themselves.
Yeah.
And yeah, why limit ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is your life.
Mhm.
You'll never get this moment back.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to express myself the way God has allowed me to express myself, to let go, as you were talking about earlier, whether it be fingerprint painting, dancing, singing, whatever, the peculiarness of you not being in the box of commonality.
Yeah.
Or just, I'm just going to be just like everyone else, but be free. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom,
Yes.
right? And then just allowing God to deal with you as you walk in that freedom. You're and let him deal with the history of you as you walk in that freedom. But yeah, when you were just talking today, it just made me like you thought those are fragments of us all. Like we are all there. It may not be as close. Um, um, in years or a period of time as yours, but we all have these fragments that are there that it's hard to get to. And we may not ever get answers to, but even in that, it's healing. Even understanding that this is the reason why they never said anything, or You're never gonna get an answer to that.
Mhm.
My father called me a few months ag well, this is last year, and he was trying to find out the name of an ancestor of ours because it was on a property that was
Mm.
owned, and there were some business matters that we needed to take care of,
Mm.
and we to this day, we do not know.
Mm.
And just kind of rolling with that and how like, why did in the trying to find it out, we found out other things that we weren't even looking for. And it's
Mhm.
like, "What?"
Mm.
And that was healing, like, "That makes so much sense. What?" That's why, so that's just really good that even in the process, you may not get this answer, but you have found out 10 other things
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I think about my own puppy and how I don't have anything on him, no
Mm.
history. I've talked to the nurses that took care of me. They met him, but they
Mhm.
can't tell me anything.
Mm.
The adoptive mother, she has no information. Even my
Mm.
birth mother, she says, I don't know. I don't even believe he's still alive because he was older when I was born.
Mm.
But I've come to a place in my life where I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
I know there's a lot of people who don't have or who have experienced their parent or their father and then he just disappears.
Mhm.
I don't remember my dad, but I remember him.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
feel him. I feel his
Mhm.
presence always. I
Mm.
feel his love.
Mhm.
And if I got caught up on what I didn't have with him or the fact that I don't have any information on him,
Mhm.
it could cause a lot of problems for me
Mm.
emotionally.
Mhm.
Like, well, why can't I get the answer? But I'm starting to understand that it's okay not to have the answer.
Mm.
It's okay because I have the love
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's what I feel.
Mhm.
And even I believe that one day we will reconnect.
Mhm.
And when
Mhm.
that happens, it'll be like all the answers are there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But until then, it's okay because the answer is love is right here.
Mhm.
His love is right here. So,
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah. And you mentioned that. You mentioned that this is not a space for having answers,
mhm.
but it is a space of reflection.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the healing happens is in the space of reflection. You're not going to have all the answers,
hmm
but you can talk about it and you can talk about what you do have and reflect on that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about this past week, we talked about how God will light up just the first step and we
Mhm.
don't necessarily we can't get caught up in what we don't see or what we don't
Mhm.
understand. But I do see this step right here. And so just make
Mhm.
this step
Mm.
and know that you're going to see the next one when it's time and just be in the present. And I think that that's healing also. Do you understand what's in front of you? I do.
Mhm.
Or I don't, but I've gotten directions on how
Mhm.
to understand it.
Yeah.
And so let me just stay right here and
Mhm.
understand this. And when it's time to go to the next step, you will. Um, yeah. So we have about 4 or 5 more minutes. Any
Mhm.
takeaways, anything that we want our audience, any other thing that we want our audience to know, anything you want to highlight or maybe restate, anything. Anything. I used to say, tickets out the door. This is the ticket out the door. Anything you want to say?
I would just encourage everybody to just take the journey. Take the journey. It's okay. You don't
Mhm.
have to have permission. It's okay. And that journey could look like just starting out learning about what are the things I enjoy?
Mhm.
Like what is my internal dialogue telling me to do that
Hmm.
I haven't been listening to? Because I might just want to learn how to watercolor. I might just want to learn how to make cakes. I
Mhm.
might just want to learn how to be a boss. We
Mhm.
just don't know. But if we don't connect with that, that can hinder us from really learning about the journey of how we got to where we're at
Hmm.
and where we're going from here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
And why I gravitate to certain things.
hmm
Mhm.
Why am I always finding myself here? Or the type of people that are surrounding themselves around me, or where I people I want to be around, or the things I. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Any
Well, I just want to make sure
conclusions?
our listeners know again that your project of coming home is a podcast, published author, all the wonderful ways that they can find you. You're everywhere. Your project is going to be coming out. You have a book on Amazon that talks of your story. And then the last thing is no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, you said it earlier, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You are not alone. You have a tribe out there. There are some people that are going through the exact same thing you're going through. Connect. There's power in connection, and know that.
Connect.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. So before we go, you said a couple of things. Okay.
Mhm.
Your podcast right now is a soft opening, right? And it's on Clubhouse. What is Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is an app on the phone, so you can't really use it on computer. You would have to download it onto your phone. It's Clubhouse, and my room is Coming Home. You just, I guess, type in Coming Home, and you should be able to find it
Okay.
and join.
And then June
23rd, I will be doing the hard launch, the release of Coming Home on YouTube, which will be under M-Publishing Services channel on YouTube. And then I'll have my website Coming Home out too.
Okay. And then you are an author. And the name of that book again?
Maya, A Life Before Adoption. Author, illustrator, Alma Luz Sanchez Glasgow.
Okay. You are a graphic designer as well.
Yeah.
And an editor.
An editor, a publisher, a muralist, an artist. Yeah, I got a lot of things. I do
Alma
music. I
Luz.
put together music. Yeah.
Yes. And so look her up. You do have a website?
So I have a few. I have M-Publishing Services. That's for all of my publishing. And then I have Alma Luz Graphics, which is for all my art right now. So those are the two.
And so she is taking commissioned art. You do commissioned art as well, right? So, yeah, I might need you for a mural on the coffee shop.
I've been waiting. I've been like, Lord, I want to do a mural. I've been looking at these muralists on Instagram. I'm like, man.
Yes. All right. This has been so good, so healing, so therapeutic. And my prayer is that it has been for many that watch the recording of this. All right. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is HERpresence. Thank you so much for following us. Make sure that you share. I am Andrea Wormley. This is Melissa Benson. And then we have Alma Luz Sanchez Glasgow.
Auggie.
Thank you.